And Punisher, issue number 1 is written by Jason Aaron, with art by Jesús Saiz and Paul Aza, colors by Dave Stewart, and letters by VC's Corey Pettit. And this book begins with a retelling of the death of Frank Castle's family, but from Frank's point of view, which sets the stage for the story ahead as we cut to Greece in the present with a group called the Apostles. They are preparing a shipment of weapons to various buyers when they get a call that the Punisher is there. The lights then go out for a moment, and when they come back on, only one Apostle remains. He attempts to run for a weapon, but Frank slices off his hand and cuts his throat. However, the stroke didn't immediately kill the Apostle, and Frank stabs him. Suddenly, the ninja assassins of the hand show up as Frank instructs them to take the weapons and burn the rest. The book continues with them returning to the hand's hidden base, and there, Frank has shown a group of prisoners who are some of the worst humanity has to offer. And, of course, he dishes out their punishment. We cut to 2 weeks earlier where Frank, prior to joining the hand, is attacked by them, which began his trial to see if he was worthy of becoming the next Fist of the Beast. And although he takes some hits, Frank mows down the highly trained assassins, of which afterwards is presented with a choice of knives, of which Frank just points his gun at the Archpriestess when a woman is brought in, leaving Frank in shock. We pick back up in the present and see, as Frank retires to his room and crawls into bed, that the woman is indeed Frank Castle's wife, Maria, resurrected. And it's pretty good. Jason Aaron crafted what I believe to be a very interesting setup with Frank working with the hand when normally these would be the type of people he'd kill. And I will say, him working with the hand, he seems to be getting the better end of the deal. I mean, he gets his wife, he gets to kill a whole bunch of really bad people. What could go wrong? That is, of course, unless this is some kind of trick or something, and the hand's planning something nefarious against Frank. I mean, the old woman does mention that Frank's got this hidden, untapped power, and he's almost close to unleashing the beast, which I'm confident has nothing to do with Monster energy drinks. So is it possible that this is all a setup, and the whole situation is just a little too good to be true? Yeah, probably. Oh, and I really dug the beginning of this issue, because even though we've seen Frank's origin story time and time again, I mean, there's just something that's different and a little more personal when we're seeing it from, like, literally behind his own eyes. It just creates this really heart-wrenching feeling that we're getting such a raw perspective. It's almost like we are Frank Castle. Yeah, at least until the book cuts to, the regular point of view and stuff where we're just watching everything happen on the page and stuff. But is it a perfect book? No, not necessarily. I mean, it all depends on this one particular story point. When it comes to the return of Frank's wife, what has me kind of in a bit of a conundrum here is, what about the scenario is any different than, say, the last time that Frank's family was seemingly resurrected all the way back in 2009? Because there was a story done where Frank's family actually was being resurrected, and he was so far convinced that, no, my family is dead, that is not them, I do not believe this, I do not accept this, and, well... So given this particular history, I honestly need convinced that he's convinced. Then again, it's entirely possible that he's choosing to engage in the lie deliberately, potentially as a way of making sure that the hand has no idea that he's going to maybe lay waste to all of them, because I could also see Frank Castle doing that. Maybe the Punisher's infiltrating the hand in order to destroy them. I mean, he is keeping his skull vest right out on display just in case, to which I'm sure by the end of this storyline he's gonna rip off that new logo, which is okay-ish, and put on that badass skull logo once more, and then just start mowing down ninjas. But time will tell. And I will say my favorite part about this particular book was the initiation flashback, because I just love it when the Punisher is going on the rampage, and This scene in particular, where it's different from, say, like, you know, the carnage at the beginning, I mean, on one hand, it's a lot more bloody, but two, it also shows just how loaded Frank Castle is in terms of where he's just keeping weapons from, like, pretty much every corner and every point in the room. You know, from guns to knives to chainsaws. I mean, heck, pulling a knife out from the fridge and just stabbing a dude in his junk. Whoa, man, yeah, this guy's got everything. And speaking of all that blood, when it comes to the artwork, I really like the artwork here. We've got a lot of explosive moments, both figuratively and literally, and so many great shots of Frank just being a badass. The blood splatter was on point as well, and just everything that has to do with Frank being Frank was just so visceral and gruesome, and I love it. And this book even reaches some ridiculous heights, like as Frank is just taking out all of the hand members and stuff while he's just had a bunch of shurikens like thrown into him, so they're like sticking at like his arms and his chest and his neck, and he's still just, you know, pop, 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 pop. Now, I might not be a doctor, but I would think that a ton of shurikens sticking out of my body would be the #1 ticket to Ouchville. And overall, it's fun. This book is just pure Punisher fun. It's good art with a good setup. Again, I may need some clarification in a few areas, but ultimately, I think most people are going to sit down, read this, and be happy. And with that, I'm going to score Punisher issue #1 an 8.5 out of 10. So Punisher, issue #1. What did you think about this book if you've read it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.